It has arrived! The new interwar patch of goodness! Isn't that fantastic? Let's get stuck in. I haven't had a good do with it at all. I've just been so rammed. This is what we have played previously, as many of you know. And now we have Shebang Era 2. This makes me wetter than a water park on steroids. Especially seen as I have been to the Royal Tank Museum in Bovington not too long ago, and I had a gander and I had seen some things that looked like this. It was rather exciting. It's really good. But anyway, let's get a quick brush up, shall we? You must love gaming because you are watching this video, so why not save yourself some money and get on instant gaming? They have everything you could possibly want. The new stuff, the pre-order stuff, and the classics. Honestly, you're missing out if you don't get on here. There's a link down below in the description. You can thank me later. So the game now features, I believe, 10 interwar tanks of British, German, and I think French tanks, which is right lovely. Just as before, you can get them by acquiring them and stick different bits of them together. Now, ideally, what I would do is go to Era 1, basically start again, and then unlock ourselves into Era 2, because then we will have the German and French technology up to this era, which would mean we can intermingle everything. But I'll show you what I'm meaning. We just get all the stuff up to the end of the British research tree, essentially. I'll show you now. As many of you know, my name is MoisTea Gaming. Well, on YouTube it is anyway. And we're going to go for the Moist Tank Company. And would you look at that, the story continues. With the establishment of this specialised tank corps, the interwar period promises to be a dynamic time of rapid innovation and advancements in armoured warfare. Military strategists are already envisioning a new era where tanks will play a central role on the battlefield, eclipsing the dominance of traditional infantry and cavalry forces. In other words, the people that can figure out how to do a tank properly can thoroughly shaft everybody else. Now, who doesn't love a good shafting? Now then, so, research. This is what I was barking on about before. Tier 1, this is all of the British stuff that we could have researched. We have all of it done. That's how we start. Structure, firepower, and mobility. So technically, this is further on than what I managed to get the previous playthrough on the game. Yes, with. And I've noticed that some of them have been tickled slightly, which is good. It means they have refined many aspects of it which needed a good tickling. Now things are better. But regardless of that, we've got all of that goodness. Now we're looking at Tier 2. And this is where things get incredibly interesting. We have the Medium Mark 0. That looks like a rather large turret. Oh, there's just so many bits. Armoured flaps. Who doesn't like a flap? That is armoured. Absolutely fantastic. I read that as a vision slut. I think I am in that particular mood today. And then we have Infantry Mark 1-21, which is a fully rotating turret which can squirt in every direction. A armoured koala, yes, that's what I'm going to go with. And this is just the stuff that's down here. There's so many more things that have been added, it's ridiculous. An enlarged auxiliary turret. An auxiliary anti-aircraft turret. I'm sure that will shoot and squirt high in the sky. Reinforced rivet assembly, which is new. And yes, Cruiser Mark 1. And if you have any idea about your interwar tank knowledge, oh, it goes on. Flipping heck. You'll know that we had a few tanks. And what I'm going to try and do actually is find the images on my phone and stick them in the video to the relevant tanks that we can see as we're floating about. How is that? Yes. But now we've got loads of good stuff. And it goes on and on and on and on. I've not fully looked into all of this. Medium Mark 3, look at that. With some ventilation fan array. Ah, yeah. But anyway, it goes on. Different steel, different weapons and armaments and all that other kind of crap. Light Mark E Type B, yes. Things really did go nuts in this era. Now we have a look at the firepower. Anti-tank gun, the Mark 1 3-pounder. That is juicy. And a variable recoil cylinder. Now we've just got so much stuff. And this is just the stuff that we haven't unlocked yet. All of this needs researching. Now we do already have all of the previous British technology in there as well. So this is going to be certainly interesting. A Madsen Mark 121 using a clever mixed recoil operating mechanism. This intermediate caliber gun fires at an impressive velocity and unrelenting rate of fire. That sounds good. Just what you want in a tank. Death and destruction. We can even stick a 20-pounder howitzer on there. Then we start looking at stabilized optics. You can see where this is going. It's going to be good. Now we've got more engines, water-cooled V6. Lovely. The leaded petrol. Petrol V6, air-cooled V12. Modernized high-press running gear. I'm not sure what that will be. Well, then again, we've got all the... Inspired by earlier examples, this running gear integrates a high front, able to negotiate tall obstacles, whether man-made or natural, in addition to armor-protecting internal elements. It also has the independent bogies that considerably smooths the tank's ride on whatever else it says after that. Now we go through the Typhon. That looks like it could be for the Matilda Mark 1, maybe. I'm not too sure. In all honesty, Centaur Mark 1, yeah, and honestly, I've not actually looked entirely at everything that has been in because I wanted it to be just as a surprise to me as it is to you. Ooh, a supercharged aircraft. Oh no, Armstrong V8. Oh, it has horsepower on there. Flipping heck. Oh, that was a big thing that needed improving. Now we have actual horsepower ratings on the engines, which means you can't stick a dinky winky engine in a fat tank and expect it to do something. Fighter aircraft fuel. Flipping heck, that's going to go like nuts. That is the research. So let's go back to the factory. Things do look rather more refined. Because we are starting in the mid-section, it is expected that your factory has made some developments and improvements. So we do have some basic structures already built, which is fantastic. Excellent news. Bank loans, let's have a look at them. We can now have a rather large bank loan. Flipping heck. The map, something else I've just clicked on. Germany is Germany. What's the year? 1921. Germany was a mess. Poland isn't on there. I find that interesting. I mean, I'd like to think soon more of the map would be implemented, which would mean Russia, more of Eastern Europe, America, some of the big players in the era you'd think would start to be popping in. I mean, this is still very much early access. It's gonna get done at some point. Administration, things look not too shabby. Oh look, employed and capacity 800. Yeah, things are going up. So, like I was saying before, we have... No, I don't want to draft thing, you lemon. We have different ones which have already been sorted. All the technology from before. So if we have a gander at this, when it lets me do it correctly. Oh, I see what's going on there. Okay, so we have the heavy Mark 1 Fusillade. A Fusillade, if that's how you say that correctly, is more machine gun based, and then you've got the other one which is more heavy anti... Well, it's got the 6-pounder gun in it, and that big blob to go into the trench itself, so the thing can cross. I don't know why it's got the tail wheel on it, but it is what it is, and it looks like it actually fits in there properly, which is a vast improvement over the previous. We have that. Let's have a look at this. Different tracks, I think, and more things. Vanguard, and that again. The medium, so this is the Whippet. There is that. Now these are all the ones which we have presumably gone through with into the next era. So as Britain, we supposedly designed these and give them to the government. The Mark, oh jeez, the Mark 8 land battleship, or known as the Liberty tank, I believe. And this is the frigate version, which is all machine guns. That's just mad. Yeah, I need to have a look. I'll get the pictures. I've seen these, and they are interesting. There we go. Medium, Hornet, all of this stuff. So essentially, we are carrying on from where we left last time. These designs will do. Now, I can make any of these, well, now I suppose. And we can have a quick gander at all this kind of stuff. We can still have a look, a dabble with all the engines and all the bits if we really wanted to. It might be worth making a... I'll see if I can make a better design of the final ones of, say, the Liberty tank, for example. I might be able to tweak it slightly, make it better, and we might be able to sell it, because it's going to take time to get the new technologies to implement the new stuff. Now the question is, as a company, because we've just been thrown in the middle of everything, World War I has ended, where do we go from here? Hello, valued viewers. Sorry for the interruption, but if you could just spend that 2 seconds to click that like button somewhere down at the bottom, that will go a long way to helping me out. Thank you. Now, if we have a look at this, tier 3 and 4, this is reputation. This was the thing which has been implemented, which is so badly needed, and it's so good. So we are a British company, and within Britain, we are up to tier 3 reputation rewards. Tier 1, you get the supply contracts, eligible for supply contracts. Now you still have to bid for these. Tank trophies, we can get enemy tanks. Contract lobby means we can initiate a total of 0 contracts per year. I'll go into that in a minute. Tier 2 grants you the ability to restock contracts. That is something that we didn't actually manage to do in the last playthrough. Engage the services of administrators. Don't know what that is, not gonna lie. Oh, maybe it's... Oh, it's the administrators. So the people that we bring in to help out with different bits. They might have different nationalities and we can drag them in from all over the world now. Ooh, I'll have to keep an eye on that. and we can initiate a total of 1 contract. Now, tier 3, we can eligible for upgrade contract submission. Oh, that is good. That was also a very badly needed thing in the game, which I didn't realize. Yeah, so when stock becomes obsolete, they will want to upgrade it for a better model. That is some good thinking, developers. Nice. Authorized to procure new holdings. Not sure what that is. Suppose we'll have to find out. Initiate a total of 2 contracts per year, so more money. If we were to go to tier 4, we would be eligible for experimental contracts. Not sure what that would entail. Advisory role. Assist in tank type adoption. So we could influence the military's want for different things. So say if I wanted to build lots of smaller tanks, I could whisper into the British government's ear and go, no, build the little ones, that's what we want, and pump them all out and make lots of money for me. Got to love a game where if you can say fuck you to the government, that's gonna be good. Brownie points there. And we can initiate a total of 3 contracts per year. Now, by initiating a contract, I've not actually done it, but these are the different battalions that they supposedly have. At this point, nobody has any tanks. They've all got to be built, I think. And we can... Yeah, it has no vehicles and requires new tanks. We can initiate contract for it. Now that will mean if I was to click initiate contract, I should be able to say, yeah, I've got tanks, here you go, have some of that. We'll play with this in a little bit. I'm going to get some tanks produced before I do that. So that's Britain. Britain also has many of the colonial possessions. South Africa, Eritrea, whatever it's called, I can't bloody remember now. Ethiopia is still existing a little bit. Somehow we have Britain in there. Oh, I could never say that one. No, whatever. Eritrea, whatever. Anyway, yes, we've got all of that, so that all adds into their economic strength and military strength, because one comes in hand usually. This is where they're spending their money on, similar to what they had before. Road expansion, that's an interesting one. Currently, everybody is buddy-buddy with each other. I'm curious as to how this has been changed. We can only find out as we play the game. The economy has now been split into different sections. We have Europe and Africa. Africa is a very large income generating thing for Britain, as you can see. And we've got stats for different bits of it as well. Nice. Oh, tank corps. Oh, no, they do have tanks. They've got quite a lot of tanks. I was wrong. Flipping heck. They've got loads of tanks. Hector Mark 1s. So these are the old ones. They look like the first ones. They've got plenty of them. So these are probably going to be wanting upgrades and so on. Then we have a what? Telemachus Mark 1. That's a Hornet. I've never heard it be called that. Achilles. That's the big boy. Artemus. Maybe a Mark 4, possibly, with machine guns on there. The Apollo, which is the Whippet. And these blank ones are the ones that we can actually fill in with the contract lobby. Okay. Oh, these are the administrators. We actually have to grab them from here now. Interesting. Holdings. Oh, this content is currently under development. Ah, okay. Well, we're all going to have to wait and see what that's about. Trophies, there won't be any just yet. But the army, if we have a look at that, World War I artillery, World War I infantry, World War I cavalry, it's all World War I stuff. So I'm presuming it will get upgraded. And it looks like many of these are not 100% at combat strength. Don't know if that is randomly generated or not. I'm not too sure. Let's have a look at Germany. Our reputation is rubbish, but we still are eligible for supply contracts, and we can acquire trophy tanks, which they don't currently have. Their contracts are... well, we can't initiate them. So to get our reputation higher, I presume we just have to work with them a bit more. So we're just going to have to grab everything we can by the bollocks. And the army is strong. Surprisingly, after World War I, wasn't much left of it, I can imagine. Tanks. They've surprisingly got a lot of tanks. Yeah, they really are surprisingly got a lot of tanks. They've got lots of little ones. Interesting. Some of the A7Vs. Different variants. The A and the B. One's probably just an upgrade of the other. These tanks clearly are different. These have got different tracks on. That surprises me. Maybe even the more fixed ones have variations in them. Interesting. Economic strength of Germany 577, higher than what I thought it was going to be. France, economic strength 852, military strength good. Our reputation is slightly higher than the Germans, but I thought it would be better than that. But regardless, they have a good variety of tanks. They've got that piece of shit. They have this piece of shit, which we couldn't build in our playthrough. It bugged out last time. And we have the Renault. Oh god, what's that now? I've seen them as well. They're a lot smaller than what you'd think. That's... yeah, that wasn't at Bovington, unfortunately. The army looks good and strong. Lots of infantry and everything else. Nice. I'm not going to look into every single one. It does look like... oh, Spain doesn't have any tanks. What about some of the other countries? Austro-Hungarian Empire has a few. And they're not looking too shabby neither. They're quite strong. Serbia, I'm presuming not. Oh, they have a few. They've got some... oh, right. Okay, so it looks like everybody has a little bit of tankage. Even the Greeks have 10 of the French piece of shit, whatever that is. Initiate contract. Well, we've got reputation for every single country here. So if we can grab as many of them as we can, that would be lovely. Oh, the army of Denmark is shattered. They don't have any tanks. Norway, tanks. They've got a few German ones. Sweden, they have some German ones as well. I'm not too sure how these actually favoured in World War I. I'll have to Google that. Switzerland? They've got German tanks. Flipping heck. Not sure who lost the war in this playthrough. Maybe it never happened, but anyway. Well, that's the world map. So, the UI has been heavily changed, and it looks a lot easier on the eyes. So, for example, Heavy Mark 1 series. We have shipped it to 0 countries, we have produced 0, and we have sold 0. And it has a reputation bonus at the top. Now, because we have just started a game, essentially, it's not going to have the stats from the World War I period. However, if we were to have started then and progressed up to this point, I can imagine the numbers would be rather impressive. We also have a stat here. This is what is considered currently modern. So if a tank or country was wanting to upgrade a tank, then I'm presuming they're going to want it to be more modern or than the obsolete designs that it's supposed to be replaced with. That is interesting. Now I can build all of these straight away from the get-go. So I want to know what I can get away with. What will Britain purchase? So we're going to need some supplies in from the get-go. Let's have a look and see what we can actually do here. So the way I saved myself so much money before was to be able to get supplies in quickly but cheaply. So if we have a look, Africa is cheap, Oceania is cheap, but it takes longer. Africa is good, but they don't have the quantity, or do they? Ooh, Africa is in for a run-in. Okay, that's Oceania. That is Europe, clearly the most expensive, but we have many more resources available, and it's rapid. Not too bothered about that. Asia, even more resources available, but it takes 3,000 years to get here. Prices a little bit higher. Middle East, that is cheap. Rubber is relatively very cheap there. North America, lots available, but more pricey. Africa is the cheapest. The main things that we're probably going to be going through, if we click tank. There we go. Let's go for that. How many? There. Oh, devs, if you're watching this, I can't read that because it blends in with the background. But anyway, 12 of them from Africa will cost me 71,000. Where's our money? We've got 3 million. Nice. For the same amount of resources from North America, it will cost 110. From Europe, 144. So that is double the price. Oceania, 75. So pretty much the same price. Oh, there is less carbon steel available in Oceania. Okay. And in general, Oceania takes longer to get here. But if it's delayed, it's going to be delayed by less. Africa. Yeah, shorter to get here, but if it is delayed, it is going to be delayed for longer. Overall, it is going to be better from Africa. I think last time that wasn't it. Nice. Okay, so we have our supplier, Africa. That's how we're going to play this. We'll get that order in straight away. Line 2? That wasn't an option before. Okay, okay. Right. I have to click on it and then... Oh, I see what they've done here. Okay, so line 1 must be different to line 2. Well, it doesn't have to be, but the resources aren't available for the second line. If I now go to Oceania, I can now get a second order in from there. Oh, there we go. Alright, so it's going to be Oceania and Africa. Going to be a constant feed of resources, hopefully. Figuring this out already. What are our situation of tanks? We can currently store 110 tanks, okay. We can store resources. Right, a lot. That's not bad. Delivery reliability. Oh, we don't have that. What's that? Loading speed stations, delivery time, yeah, and supply time. That's good. That's kind of what I want anyway. Pretty happy with that, to be honest. These are all the little buildings that make a huge difference. One thing I'm definitely rather keen to do. 2 research lines. Ah, yes. Question is, what do I bloody research? Ooh, I don't know. I think the biggest thing for me right now will be to have a better hull and a turret of some kind. That is gonna get annoying. Research, 128 days left. Ugh. Well, it is what it is. Now grabbing that, it won't let me grab this one until I've gone down a once. Well, that's the structure. Firepower, anti-tank gun itself. Ooh. Maybe. I don't know what will fit in the other ones, to be completely honest. I mean, will the 3-pounder in general fit in that? The firepower, this is a 3-pounder. Yes, it's an anti-tank gun, and we get more stuff for it. But will this gun from World War One? Is it this one? This one. That's a 3-pounder. That probably will fit. Maybe. I mean, it might not. But if that means I can get away with the World War One guns for the time being, just bear in mind this is still World War One tech, kind of. That means I can go through the engines and the running gear. That's probably a better idea for the time being. Okay, so leaded fuel. We're doing that. The research building itself, I wanted more people per thing, and we've got that. What is that? Don't know what that is. Ally focus, not bothered about that. We've got the basic ones which I generally want. Component focus, mobility, firepower, and structure. I think I probably would rather have the mobility, but component one will do. Technically, I can build another building. Oh, look! Maintenance. It tells you now when you are building another building. Oh, hang on. Oh, I can upgrade the buildings. Ooh, that wasn't a thing before. That makes me rather excited. I now have a semi-on upgrades. I can upgrade the ergonomics office, so I can now have more people in the research block. That is rather exciting. Before we spend money on that stuff, though, we do need to see what the money situation is going to be like. Admin, we have the basics. Maintenance office, again, can be upgraded. That's probably going to be rather... Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's going to have to be done. Reduction of maintenance on all buildings in your factory by 23% saving. Yes. Let's just have a quick look-see at the cash flow. Building maintenance, 190,000 a month? Bloody hell, what are we building these buildings out of? Gold and... Oh, Jesus. Right, well, let's do that one straight away. That will pay for itself immediately. Oh, this as well. Professional lobbyists will help you increase your influence in numerous countries. Oh, we need that. A monthly reputation growth for all countries due to lobbying activities. Yes. Yes. That is a must. If I can give everybody tanks, I can have more money. Let's get that one done now. Admin Council. The executive board will ensure that your instructions are carried out fast and accurately. What does it do? Reduces maintenance further and reduces the bank rate for all bank loans, so interest. And I don't have that. If I build that, will that lower? It should. That should further lower the maintenance. Again, paying for itself and more. I'm happy with that. Medical stations, reduction of people being murdered in the factory. That's probably a guild thing, seeing as it's my factory. Well, that's that bit done. we have an admin here, which reduces maintenance of this building. Lobbying focus, I think, yeah, okay, we'll leave him here. This man gives us a lobbying focus and makes things a bit cheaper. I'm happy with that. The museum, I don't know if that works yet. We're going to have to giggle with it once we've built something. The trial range, this is where we had our tanks whiz around. Oh no, it's not. This is where the people whizzed it around and told me how many things were wrong with it. The test drive is where we whizzed things around. We'll have a look at that in a minute. See, look, we're getting somewhere. Engineering. At some point, ergonomics is a must. And we can look at all of these different bits at some point. This is all of the research, engineering research bonuses and all that malark. No, don't need to spend money on this yet. What is this? Walter Wilson. He is a man that can sort out localization, optimization. He will be better in the other areas. Oh, there's already another man here. Ooh. We have a German in our, well, administration. I don't know what he's doing, but he's in the warehouse. Makes me suspicious. We can stick that man in there as well. This German, I don't know if I could do with the person in the... Oh, we've already got a research. Have I got all these people? I don't remember any of these. What's he good at? Construction time and other crap. I don't care about that. We'll leave him there for now. In the production hall. Lots of good stuff here. This is a thing that we don't need right now, though. So what do I build? Let's have a look. I can now have 2 different assembly lines. What can I make most money on? Oh, it tells you when it was designed as well, and oh, tank age is measured in months and is a mean value for the mounted components. The model is deemed outdated after the age exceeds 10 years. Flipping out. 10 years? That's ridiculous. So that will mean, so when did World War I start-ish in the game? We could probably be talking that in maybe 4 or 5, maybe before that? So will it tell me on here? What I'm thinking of is these tanks that they already have, these are old. So when is Britain gonna deem them shit? That is a good question. Right, let's see if we can get some money. Let's initiate a contract. Oh, right, okay. I can click on this. Now this is for a Fusillade tank, apparently. This is what they want. Transportability, obstacle step height, and obstacle trench width. And firepower soft. They want lots of rate of fire, gun depression, so they can shoot down into a trench. And ammunition. They can just keep squirting forever. And the damn thing better be able to get fixed. But all of this has changed. So this desired price per unit is that our desired? Oh, your price, your offer price per tank. Okay. Desired tanks. I can dictate. Flipping heck. 52 of the damn things. Your offer deadline. Okay. Current cancellation fees. We'll ignore that. Current daily fees. What is that? A reputation daily fee is applied if the contract has passed the deadline. Ah, it increases with each day and everything else. Ooh. Okay, so when you goof up a contract, you don't just get shafted immediately and spat out the other side. You get shafted gradually. Not sure what's worse. Expected revenues, expected revenue money. The maximum possible revenue from this contract is equal to the agreed price multiplied by the agreed number of tanks. So that times that equals that. But what does it cost me? Well, if I click on something, go for that. Ooh, it's all changed again. Alright, so this is the cost of what it will cost me to make a Fusilier tank. Approximate production cost based on highest resource prices in the market and workers' salary expenses. So how long it takes to stick together and the highest price in the market. So that would be if I bought all of the resources from Europe. And as you well know, that is double what I will be paying, which means the resource cost on that I should-ish be able to half it. So call it 14,000 overall, rounding that up. I can guess it will cost me 7,000 in resources instead. And call that 4,000 for the worker cost. That's 11,000 pounds of money to build that for me, not the 17 and a bit there, which will then mean if I crank this up more and more or whatever, yeah, that is a fat profit. Competition offers. Insight information on competition offers is available. We can have a look. Not the enemy. The other competitors have the Athena Mark IV. Now I can have a sneak peek of this for 80,000. And I probably will, but I know we're going to smash it out of the park. Okay. So that is that. So I want some quick money. What is this? What do they want here? They want a exploration tank, which would look like it's going to be one of them. The trusty Whippet. There we go. They are rather happy with that. That will cost me... call that 3, 4, 5-ish to build. And if I can crank a load of them out, that'd be great. And they're wanting a total 52. 52 seems to be the median. Oh, flipping heck. Vanguard, they want 66 of the damn thing. Well, maximum of. That's ridiculous. And there's one that I can do up to 68. Shit. If I was to sell them 68 of the Mark 8 landships, that's ridiculous. Score doesn't go down so much with the deadline of that. It's a period of 5 months. That is a long time. Bear in mind, I don't know how long it takes me to build one of these damn things yet. That is why I was thinking more of the Whippet thing for the time being. A Whippet tank. Going to be wanting that for roughly, hopefully, this 4th, 17th of the 4th. Can I get 52 of the damn things built in time? The competitor has the Odysseus Mark IV. I I can buy a insight into that if I really want to. I'll do it now. Sod it. Okay, the success score of that is 225 to 271. That will probably mean I can shaft the government big time. Nice. The time doesn't affect it too much. That's good. Okay. Let's try and build 52 whippets, shall we? Currently, as it stands, I have 360 workers ready to go. Engineers, I've got 75 and 15 doing nothing. I can live with that for now. In each assembly line, I can have 400 people. Well, that is a lot. So the trick to saving you money is to keeping these people damn busy. Now I have, oh wow, enough resources to build a lot of whippet tanks. Flipping heck. Now it was 52, wasn't it? 52, yeah. And fusillade tank, 52 as well. I'm just going to do a comparison. It would appear I have enough to build around 45 of them with the current resources that I have. So yes, let's do it. Let's get 52 whippets on the go just to get that initial cash flow in. That is so important. That's currently going to take 63 days. Let's get another 40 people into rounding up to 400 and then see what time is. Ah, I can only hire so many at a time. You're employing new staff. Are you sure you want to do this? Yeah, go on then. Well, it'll go up a little bit more than I've got 385. Hiring new workers will have to be a gradual thing. There you go. That is now shaved off a little bit more. 59 days now. Okay, I am going to stick some of these onto the production line immediately. There we go, they're off. 59 days, 2 months. Now I've done that. Let's make sure I'm actually going to get paid for doing so. There is the whippet. To view the competitors' insights again, I'm going to have to pay again 281. Now, we said 2 months, didn't we? Yes, we did. So let's just call it 3 months, just in case something hits the fan hard. All 52 of the damn things. The price, if the competitor has a score of 281, if I go for around 350, I mean, that's a no-brainer for the government, surely. And I should get nearly $1 million for that. It's going to cost me around 5,000 per tank. Remember that resource cost is if I bought the resources from Europe. That's going to be double what I will be paying, so call that 3. And then the worker cost, which is going to be another 2.5, so 5.5 per tank, and I will be making a profit of around 12,000 per tank. That, yes, you guessed it, makes me rather moist. If you think that is right lovely, then yes, I want to know about it. Let me know. There we go. Let's see what happens with that. I've no idea what happens next. Does that mean I've got a contract? It's in review. Ah, okay. I suspected that. Right. Well, while you're at it, I want to know your thoughts on what the world map will look like in, I don't know, 10 years in game. I don't know how long it's going to take, or how long it will let me carry this on for. Things really started kicking off again. I mean, 1930s, you've got the improvement and development of all the good stuff, really, that comes into World War II. Really, it's gonna have to include, I think, Russia and America by that point. It's gonna have to. But even by this point, yeah. Before then, I think before it starts progressing further, it might be worth having America and Russia involved. Maybe not Japan as such, even though that will be rather funny. Yeah, I mean, even the Czechs did lots of bits. Obviously, Austria-Hungary would be a mess. It didn't exist, did it? You know, there's many. I don't know how they're going to do that. We'll have to see how things play out. But this is such an improvement. But I have waffled on a bit. Will Britain conquer the African continent? It pretty much did a good battering of everybody in the last run that we did. Be interesting to see what happens this time. Before we say goodbye, this has been improved. It's much smoother than what it was before. Now, if you remember, I was on about the engines earlier. They have horsepower ratings now, so if you get a... flipping heck, balls it up already. If you get a little poxy tank and you stick a big engine in it, I can imagine it goes 3,000 miles an hour. But if you get a little poxy engine and stick it in a fat tank, I can't imagine it going very far. We'll have to see how that plays out as we design new vehicles. Things are going to be exciting. Stay tuned. More is coming. Weird and messed up designs are going to be here before you know it. I'll see you in the next episode of this. Ta-ra for now. Thank you for watching this video all the way through. Hopefully, if you have, if you can like the video too, that helps as well. A special thank you to all of the members of the channel who get lovely benefits of up to 2 weeks worth of additional content early. Isn't that right lovely? Now the next video, if it's available, will be on the screen right now to the bottom left and the full playlist to the bottom right. Have a good one.